Bees throw up in each other's mouths. That's how they make honey.
That's what's up.
Yeah, they one
It's bee vomit.
microgram of they just throw up in like another bee's mouth, and it throws up in another bee's mouth.
So do you think if you dressed as a bee with your mouth open, you could get it directly from the source? Or does it need to like go in the hive and harden to become honey? Like surely it comes out really thin.
Yeah, I did beekeeping for a while.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, it has to, when it goes into the hive, it has to cure for a long time because when it comes, like when it's right out of the bee's mouth, it has a high moisture content. It's very liquidy.
Wow.
And so when they put it in there and they cap the honey, it stays in there and kind of cures for a little bit, and the moisture content leaves it. And that's actually why, like, honey with high moisture content tends to spoil. So if you get like really low moisture content honey, it won't ferment. And that's why it doesn't go bad.
Do the bees stir it every night? Or
they cap it.
They cap it. They put it in there. They let them. They flap their wings to create the airflow and a little bit of heat, and it evaporates the liquid, the water in the honey.
Why did you do bees? Was it your job?
No,
you just did it as a hobby.
I did it as a hobby because a swarm of bees moved into my backyard. A gang of street toughs, some street tough bees.
It's like, were you forced into this hobby?
I like the idea of that's why you take a hobby or a job. It's like a bunch of people's taxes showed up. I'm like, now I'm an accountant.
No, I'm a CPA. Yeah, they just started showing up. Yeah, no, a swarm of bees moved into my backyard, and just debating at the time, like, well, do we call like a professional come gather the swarm and like take it away? And then just started doing research, like, oh no, if we get a hive and we get the suits, we can transplant this hive into like an actual like wooden beehive and then just start beekeeping. And then we did. And it was
So you
great.
just had a big enough backyard to do that?
Yeah. I mean, you in like Austin city limits, I think you can have up to 2 hives, and there's like some rules and it has to be like 10 feet away from a property line. But yeah, we just like set up a hive and transplanted the bees into it, and they started making honey, and it was delicious.
It was.
We actually,
You had
some.
Great.
Yeah.
Just looked up City of Austin bee rules. Chapter 3, paragraph 6, beekeeping.
Let's hear it.
Okay, here it is.
It sounds fun.
Beehive should not be located within 10 feet of your property line.
You know your shit.
The number of colonies you are allowed to keep is determined by your property's acreage. Depending on the location of your beehive, you may need to build a flyaway barrier, such as a wall fence or dense vegetation. The city encourages relocation of hives instead of destruction whenever possible. That's a whole deal.
Yeah.
So why'd you stop?
My girlfriend and I broke up, and so I moved out. Oh. And so they're no longer my bees.
It's really great of you to
Way
ask
to bring
that,
it up,
Gavin.
Gavin.
Sorry.
No, it's quite all
I
right.
mean,
Tell us
surely
more about personal struggles.
Yeah.
surely you could have taken half the bees.
Just like sitting all the bees down individually and talking with them. Listen, your mother and I
let 'em all
love you.
Each of you stands on one side of the yard, and the ones that come to you go with you, and the
Come
ones that
with
go to
me.
her go with her.
Come on, this way.
You just see who can wear the biggest beard of bees, and you can keep those.
Well, that's what's crazy is like once a hive gets big enough or like outgrows the hive, the queen that's inside will lay another queen egg. And then when that one hatches, the old queen takes half of the hive and swarms and flies off to find a new home. So, I mean, ostensibly at some point, once the hive's big enough, you could split it off and do another hive and take that away.
I have a question. So there's only one female, the queen, right?
Yes.
So
Well, there's only one. No, there's only one queen. All the drones, all the worker bees are female, and all the male bees are they don't do anything. They're only their only job is to mate with the queen.
Huh.
They don't fly.
Go
either.
on.
Tough life.
Interesting.
All the worker bees are female. They go out and forage honey or forage nectar and bring it back, and all the male bees are drones, and they just sit inside the hive and just.
How does the current queen appoint the next queen?
By laying the egg, because the queen can decide what kind of egg she's going to lay.
Interesting. Okay.
So she goes like, queen.
I wonder how chemically that's different. What do they do to the queen egg? And how is that a conscious? How is it like
Answer all of our
they
bee
just don't give
questions,
it a
Andrew.
penis.
There it is. Yep. That's.
But all the females are the workers too.
They give this one a little crown too. That way they know.
They feed it royal jelly, which is like the nurse bees that take care of the queen, that like take care of the queen's egg. feed it a special like.
Oh, so does it become queen at that point, or is it still a special egg?
It's still a special egg, and then they
So there's
feed it
no
a special
like,
diet.
there's no like drones getting in on the royal jelly trying to queen up.
No.
Okay.
Trying to queen up.
It's fascinating stuff.
It is. It is very interesting.
I read like this bee book. I'm showing the thickness of the book. It is a super It's bees are incredibly fascinating.
Was it a novelization of the movie, or was the movie based on the book?
God damn it, Gus.
I read this thing fairly recently that bees won't build whatever it is, like the honeycomb, with it if there's a gap of only like 6 to 8 millimeters, and that's like the principle behind modern beekeeping, why you use those shelves and why they're spaced so tightly to each other. It's like they have that very specific amount of space so that they don't all just grow together.
Yeah, the Langstroth hive, they are spaced a specific distance apart, but that's why actually for the most part, bees take care of their hive like really well. Like once we moved them in, we had to do very little work because they're, they pretty much are self-sufficient. But that you can get cross combing, which will they'll build comb instead of in diagonal lines, we'll kind of build it across the way, and you have to like prevent that. And once you kind of correct that, they tend to build just like they fill out the fill out those slots just like Eins Zwei.
Where do they shit?
Probably while they're out like foraging.
They don't shit in the
Where
hive.
do bees shit?
There we go.
How do bumblebees poop? Is that what I asked? Do bees poop?
I love this. I'm just asking questions and just getting answers. Love this.
So what is bee poop? I mean, I'm not getting any answers here.
Do you think that's a different delicacy?
Where does bees shit?
Where does bees shit? Hey man, where does bees shit? Come on now.
Can we have that on a shirt?
Where
does bees shit?
I have no idea. It does. There's no easy answer.
Because I mean, if the vomit's good, chances are.
No.
What? Let's see what it's like.
You're trying to double dip. You can't get it from both ends.
I mean, is there any animal product that is feces?
Oh, you get civet coffee.
That's dump.
It's what they do is
It's like coffee
they feed
dumped.
coffee beans or like the coffee berry to a civet, and they eat it, and their body digests the entire thing except for the coffee bean, and they shit out the coffee bean, and then you can collect those coffee beans out of their poop and then make coffee out of that.
There's something dealing with beavers' poop that is something. Look at beaver poop.
Look, beaver poop.
Yeah, and something's made out of that. Forget what.
I'm trying to think of like weird just thinking about weird animals.
Ew.
Right? Ambergris. Is
Oh,
that
Oh.
payday?
Oh, beaver butts emit goo used for vanilla flavoring.
That's it.
They secrete a goo called castoreum, and I guess that's used in vanilla flavoring.
Isn't that fun?
Oh, good.
I love vanilla things.
That doesn't sound vegan to me.
What's that stuff that's used for like varnish? It's like all smashed up bugs or something.
What? For
What?
varnish?
What's that stuff? What's that shit? No, it wasn't. It wasn't varnish. It was like they made old records out of it.
Vinyl?
No, it was like before. It was the one before that.
Edison cylinder?
Is it shellac?
Oh, shellac?
Oh.
Is that from like bug shit or smashed up shit? I can't remember. It's something weird animal product. But I can't
shellac is a resin secreted by the female lac bug. That sounds fake. Shellac? That can't be real. That can't be real. It's secreted by the female lac bug on trees in the forests of India and Thailand.
So that's poo.
It is processed and sold as dry flakes and dissolved in alcohol to make liquid shellac. I learned. I didn't know
I
that.
learned.
Yeah, it's crazy the weird ways animal products are used that we don't realize.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
All the
Someone
time.
also wrote beaver anus glands makes raspberry flavoring also.
They got vanilla and raspberry.
Man,
Oh man.
you
There's,
know?
there's just a
They
swirl
got the whole
machine back there.
Neapolitan.
Do beavers really like eating ass then? I mean,
Jesus. Yep. Yep.
maybe they just like the taste.